Well, Hillary Clinton claims she never met Jeffrey Epstein, was never on his island, was never on his plane, and accused the GOP of a cover-up during testimony to a House Oversight Committee hearing into Epstein today. Joining us live is the Republican strategist, John Jordan. It's good to see you this morning, John. So she's not in the flight logs and there's been no charge or allegation. So does her defence stack up?
Yeah, it may well. I don't. I know that she knows him. I mean, all of these people in New York know each other to some degree, especially given if they all swim in the same circles. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Hillary Clinton was not on Epstein's island. We know that Bill Clinton. We do have pictures of him in Epstein's hot tub, and I think it unlikely that Bill would have brought Hillary along for that particular trip.
No, that's true. Well, he's up tomorrow. So as we know from photographs, he's in the flight logs. He's for a while said that he was unaware of Epstein's criminal behaviour. So what are you expecting him to say? First of all, are you surprised that he's appearing at all?
Well, first of all, you know, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are different animals with regard to Epstein. I don't think Hillary Clinton has too much to worry about here, other than that she probably has communicated with some degree. Bill Clinton is an entirely different matter. In the flight logs, in the hot tub. No, you know, when there's a congressional subpoena, you have to testify. Otherwise, you're subject to prosecution. If Bill Clinton could have avoided testifying, believe me, he would have. He has access to some fantastic lawyers, but there's just no way around that. So it's how does he tell that story and what evidence is he confronted with? But more to the point, if he lies and perjures himself, that makes this an even bigger story. The Democrats keep pushing this Epstein thing as if it's going to hurt Trump for reasons that I just can't fathom, because the more that comes out, the worse the left looks. First, it's Bill Gates, who was a darling of the left, of the vaccines, the masks. He was one of the primary COVIDians, the politicians in Norway that gave Obama, you know, the Nobel Prize for doing nothing get caught up in it. The more it goes on, the worse it gets for the left. But for whatever reason, they just keep wanting to dig in this.
Well, I mean, Hillary Clinton has doubled down on that today by saying or accusing the GOP of a cover-up now.
Well, she's got to say something, but geez, you know, there's records of Trump actually kicking Epstein out of his club in Florida, of Trump actually calling the police. Remember, Donald Trump doesn't drink. You know, he may move from lady to lady, but he marries them, is what he does. That's why he got 3 ex-wives. But you know, she has to say cover up, because that's the tagline, that's the dog whistle for the media to start covering up for it. But the more she yells cover up, the more guilty the Clintons look. But the worse it gets for them, and the better Trump actually looks in the whole thing. So does
this need Trump to appear? Is there any likelihood of that ever happening?
No, but I mean, actually, in a weird way, Trump maybe should welcome it or volunteer it. You know, as we said, you know, he kicked Epstein out. He called the police. And this is from way back before he was in politics. Trump wanted nothing to do with this. Once he got wind of this. Believe it or not, Trump is actually a family guy. All of his kids love him. He dotes on him.
That's true.
Objectively, that's a fact. And he kicked Epstein out. So I don't know how many more leftists and Democrats have to be dragged into this before the Democrats will move on.
No, we saw them all there at the State of the Union address a couple of days ago now. Yeah, they were all there. They were all looking on proudly too. Just switching things over to Iran now, John. I mean, all the assets are in place. There are these talks that are being held in Geneva as we go to air this morning. I mean, does it feel like a strike is coming, though?
Hard to tell. All the assets really aren't in place yet. The Gerald Ford aircraft carrier, the second carrier battle group, just left Crete and is bound for the Eastern Mediterranean. So they're not quite in position yet. It's getting close. President Trump is always going to try to maximize his leverage, but has demonstrated that he'll also strike when he wants to, which actually has the second order effect of actually increasing his leverage, because he's already hit Iran once. The issue here really, and this is going to be decided, is inside Iran. Are the people going to, is there going to be another uprising? Are they going to coalesce around a leader, possibly the late Shah's son Pahlavi? you generally need a leader around which to coalesce, Lech Walesa and Nelson Mandela, somebody like that. And then there has to be defections within the Iranian organization. I think there's a lot, well, I'm certain there's a lot going on inside Iran right now, and there's secret talks probably with members of the Artesh, the Iranian military, which is distinct from the Republican Guard, that maybe they stand down if there's another uprising. There's a lot going on with CIA communicating, bringing in Starlink satellite so people can share information. There's a lot going on here. Trump would like to make a deal, and he'd like to have this happen organically, but he's putting pressure on the Iranian regime to make one of two choices: either sustain a military attack, which would likely be crippling, or for them to humiliate themselves after spending all this money, all this treasure, and the future of the Iranian people on this nuclear weapons program. If they have to walk this back, that's a declaration of nearly of impotence. So Trump's trying to put them in that corner, maximize leverage, but the real action is going on behind the scenes, and we'll be hearing about that in the months ahead.
No doubt. John, good to see you as always. Thank you.